By the end of this video, you should have an effect similar to this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have fun. Hey guys, it's me, Chance, back with another video. Today we're going to make a death shattering effect for Godot, for 2D specifically. It probably can work in 3D depending how you make it, but this is a scuffed version. You don't have to do any shaders or anything like that. It's really simple, it's just kind of scuffed. So let's get into it. So in this scene, all we have is a player rigid body with a collision shape 2D and an area 2D for detection, and static bodies for the ground, and a static body for a spike. Now, if the player runs into this spike, nothing happens, as you can see. Oh no, we want the player to die. And we've given this spike a group name called Spike, if you're curious. So this is going to be pretty simple. So we want to make something called a death scene, but before we make that, we want to make a death object, which is, again, pretty simple. It's going to be a rigid body because we want it to be affected by physics. And we're just going to call this death piece. I hope I had it right the first time, guys. So then you just add a sprite to it, normal stuff for Godot, and then a collision shape. Now you can add your own custom sprite, but I'm actually going to change it real quick from a sprite to a polygon 2D. So polygon 2D, and I'm just going to draw a quick shape. Or I'm going to try. So we're just going to have it match up slightly. Oop, accidentally deleted it, guys. Sorry. 10 out of 10 tutorial. We're just going to have it be pretty small, like right around here. Boop. There we go. Have the collision shape. Have it be a square. Have it match up obviously with your polygon. And this is our death piece. We're just going to add this into our prefabs folder and just save it there. And that's it for that. Now you can change how it gets affected by physics, like increase the gravity. Let's turn it to like 7 or something like that, or you can make it bouncy, whatever you want, how the death is going to look. So save it. And now we want to make a death scene. Now this is going to be a no 2D. We're going to call it death scene. And we're just going to, now this is pretty simple. We're going to take a prefab of our player, plop it in there, and then we're going to take a prefab of our pieces and plop it in there as well. But the thing is, we wanted to, how I describe this, we want it to match up, like kind of in color and shape. So let's decrease the death piece size, go into the transform and decrease the scale. We're going to turn it to 0.3. Same with the collision as well. Just times 0.3 to it. Then 2.4. And there we go. Now if we go back in here, it looks about the shape we want. Now, but one thing you need to know, more rigid bodies you have, lower performance your game's going to have, so just be wary of that. So now we want to just drag it into the player, and then we just want to cover the entire player with the white spots. Now, since I'm making a tutorial for this, I'm not going to be as like precise with it. So I'm just going to keep going around until it's covered up mostly. And I'm probably going to have a time lapse for this, so I'll be seeing you guys in like 20 seconds or so. Okay guys, I'm back now, and it's mostly covered up. It's covered up enough for my liking. So now you just want to basically, over your sprite, or you want to change the death pieces, you want to change the visibility or color to match up similar with your sprite. So we're going to just lock the sprites or your player's position so you can't move it. And we're just going to slowly pick around, like match the colors slightly. So I'm going to pick all these ones on the very edge. I'm going to change them to black because the edging's black. And we're just going to go into visibility, turn all black. And most of the ones on the inside of this sprite is going to be red, obviously. Now, one thing you need to know is the fact that this isn't going to work for super complex sprites. It's going to only work for like simple shapes and stuff. I mean, it could work for complex sprites, but I wouldn't recommend it since it would probably be way harder to implement. And I would recommend just using a shader. But this is for a scuffed version, obviously. So we're going to turn all these ones into red. Boop. And we're going to just kind of try to match it up to make it look. You can obviously change everything if you want. Try to make more of a smile, I guess. And we're just going to change these ones as well. Select them as well. And at this point, I'm going to ask you guys to like and subscribe because that's what you're supposed to do in these videos. And then change this to black as well. Now, obviously, it isn't perfect, but it's going to get the job done for what we wanted to do right now. And we're just going to delete the player node in here, so it's just a shape. And if you want to, now you can just kind of fill it in more, since you basically have the general shape done. Now, so you can just fill it in more. I would recommend not being dumb and filling the parts down, not black, with black. But yeah, this isn't very complicated, but at all. It's just kind of scuffed again. But it's really simple. You just have to be big brain to do it. And may have to have a good computer ? But yeah, that looks good enough. So save this as a death scene. Boop. So now we want to go into our player or ball, whatever you called it. And we want to add a script. Now, you might have a script for it anyways, but just go into your script. And let's create it. Let's just delete everything. And let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, save that. Now go into your ball. If I can find the ball. There it is. Go click your area 2D for detection. And have a signal. Now it depends on what you're colliding with. I'm going to be colliding with a body, also known as a static body 2D. So I'm gonna do body entered. And then we're just gonna have it if body dot is in group. And then we're gonna have whatever our enemy is, spike for me. Make sure you spell it right. So if it's in group, do what we want. I'm just gonna put pass here for now. Now up here we want to get our death. We want to get our death scene obviously, so we're gonna put var death scene equals preload. And then we want to just copy paste our death scene's location, copy path, boop. There we go. That should work now. And this part's, we're going to make a new method for this. We're just going to call it spawn on death. No parameters in it. I'm just going to put pass for now. Then we want to put spawn on death. So this is what we're going to do now. So we're going to make a new variable, death instance equals death scene dot instance as node. Now you don't have to do the node 2D. I always do that if I'm making an instance for something, so I can get the autocorrect. So now, if we just get tree dot add current scene dot add child, and we put death instance. And before we do that, we need to set the global position as well. So death instance dot global position equals global position. And after we add it, we want to just destroy the player. So if we do this, it should add it to our position when we die. Oh no, it gave us an error. Actually, that's wrong. It's lagged. So let's see what the errors are from. Oh yeah, all this crap. It's because we are dumb and we didn't do call deferred. You don't know what that is? Good thing, because I don't know either. So it's just basically, I don't know, look it up. But we need to put this method in. So we're just gonna put death instance, and now it should work better, question mark. See, it works now. Just because of that one change. You can look it up. Actually, let's look it up right now. Here's the definition. Cool. So let's go back into the script. Now you might say, hey, wait, that doesn't look that good. We want it to keep moving because that's how momentum works. Now, your big brain. So this is what we're going to do. After setting the position, we're going to make a variable, and we're going to call these death pieces. So death pieces equals death instance dot get children, because all these children have rigid bodies, so these are the death pieces, obviously. And then we want to do a for loop, so death piece in death pieces. So now it's just going to loop through each one, and then we want to set the linear velocity, so that's death instance, not death piece. Death piece dot linear, oh yeah. Actually, let's do this first. So death piece as rigid body 2D, so we can just get the italicants for it. So now we're going to do death piece dot linear velocity equals vector 2, and that resets the linear velocity to 0 if I just do that just in case. Now we're just going to copy this, and we're going to change it as well. So now if you're using a kinematic body 2D, it's going to be different, but since I'm using a rigid body, it's going to be nice and simple. So now we want the linear velocity. Now we're going to actually have it as half, because I find out if you have it the full linear velocity, it's way too strong and it destroys everything in the game, kind of. So now it's going to be 0.5. So now if we play this again, it should hypothetically work. Look at that. It's nice.